If you have kids that are struggling, if you've ever wondered that, man, it doesn't seem like they ever know what to do unless I'm there. If you've ever wondered if they have the social skills, the social tools to be socially independent and go lead their own life, if you're worried that they're not flexible enough to make it in the world, maybe they're not resilient enough, if you wonder if they're ever going to be able to make it on their own, kids need help, and it's harder than it's ever been to be a child. We don't need to keep just floating and try the old things that have never worked. We need more skills and tools as parents. So that's why we've put this program together, to get you the tools you need to deal with our 21st century problems with our children and our families. And that's what we've put together in this program called A Parent's Guide to Raising Resilient and Independent Children. As I've been coaching and working with children and parents for over 20 years, having a doctorate in human development and 2 master's degrees, I still didn't know exactly how to raise my kids, so I had to figure it out. The design of the program was really what I learned raising my own kids, so I know how hard it can be to be the best parent you want to be and to actually raise these children up in a way that you can feel comfortable about their future success. In the program, I'm going to teach you a very basic change model, and we go over the fact that our thinking impacts our feelings impact what we do, and what we're doing impacts what we're becoming. Once you learn the model, you as a parent will be able to actually implement and use the model with your children to help manage their thinking so it generates healthier, more productive feelings, and to take those feelings to motivate them to create better action and activity on their goals and their dreams so that they can become the kind of person they want to become. I want you to see yourself as a guide on their side, as a guide to help them walk through their system of life so that they have the essential skills they need to make it work. We'll also teach you how to identify what they want to become, how to help them go through life and find out what their skills, their gifts, their talents are to know what they want to become so you can actually generate better thoughts, feelings, and actions that lead them to those goals. We'll also take you through a really cool model called the 3 levels of maturity, and we're going to help you move your children from being dependent on you to being independent of you, and eventually teach them how to be interdependent with you. It's a powerful new idea. We're going to walk you through the different levels of dependence, independence, and interdependence, where a lot of our kids get caught up, and we think being a good parent many times is helping them meet their needs, having those needs met for them specifically. We're going to teach you that at some point you need to move them away from being dependent on you to independence. And once they get to that point, eventually down the road in the future, they could become somebody that is interdependent with you as a parent, and you can grow a healthy, safe, productive relationship going forward. In the program, we will also teach you an awesome metaphor for how you can look at your children to make sure that you're always empowering them. And we call it the gardener metaphor, where your role as a parent is to become the gardener. You're supposed to take the good seeds and understand the great seeds that you've got, understand their needs, and understand that every seed has a different need, and then go create the perfect fertile soil for them where they can grow, where they can develop. Your job is not to over garden or under garden. Your job is to be a healthy, effective gardener and to take the clues from the seeds that you're raising to create more productive growth for each and every one of them. We will also be talking about an approach I call the inside out approach to parenting, where we are going to work your child's maturity from the inside of them, their most spiritual self, to eventually their ability to manage their emotional self. And when their emotions are strong, to manage their social relationships, and then take relationships and their social life into better learning and intellectual growth, and then out into the physical world. We're going to teach you the 5 levels of this maturity, which are spiritual, emotional, social, intellectual, and physical. And we go over in depth each one of these 5 areas, where we're going to basically help you take your child on the journey to make sure that from the inside out they can handle their life, and from the outside in they can work it. We're going to teach you how to go diagnose what's going on with your children and literally recognize the physical issues they're dealing with, the intellectual learning issues they're dealing with, social, their friendship needs, their emotional needs, and their spiritual needs. It's a really powerful, complete way of looking at how you parent your children. And we give you guidelines and principles along the way so that you can actually know what to do next with your kids. It's really a powerful tool, and we're going to carry on the metaphor that you're the guide taking them on this journey of life. If we're going to send them out on a long-term journey, they need to be able to take care of their physical self, their health, their hygiene. They need to take care of their intellectual needs. Do your children actually know how to learn on their own? Have they learned how they learn? Do they know the way they like to approach information and knowledge? Do they know how to go find their own answers? Or are they just too dependent on you to answer all their questions? Socially, do you feel like your kids are socially independent enough? Are they strong enough socially to go find other people along their journey that can help them through the journey and make it to the peak, get to where they want to in life? Emotionally, are they self-aware? Do they recognize where they are on the emotional journey? Do they understand how to manage their own moods, their own situation? Do they understand what their tendencies are? Are they self-aware enough to know how they impact the world and how to actually help others lower their emotions? And finally, are they spiritually connected to a deeper purpose? Do they know what their essence is? Do they understand when they're in essence versus ego? These are all different areas we're going to teach you through this 4-hour program and give you skills and tools and activities. It will literally have dozens and dozens of things you can go do with your kids, conversations you can have, and learnings you can take to take your kids to the next level. So don't think it all just ends with a 4-hour workshop. I'm going to be creating even more that we'll be able to add to this program that you're watching as you become a member by just joining the program. We're also going to throw in one of my date nights that I host. This date night's going to be about feeding the love, we call it, learning the 7 basic needs of healthy and effective relationships so that you and your spouse can also go spend some time focusing on your marriage and your relationship. The goal, of course, again, is to help our kids launch out into the world and to do so successfully, but to be flexible and resilient enough that they can be dynamic and adaptive to the world as it changes. You can do it. You're already doing a great job as a parent. All we want to do is give you a lot of tools, more skills, more information, and some more guides really to take it to the next level so you feel more confident in your approach. That is our goal with the program. We've made it so simple for you to just be able now to sit down and watch it in a 4-hour video. We charge $99 for the program, $99 for basically what would be $1,000 plus worth of coaching and counseling if you sat down with me for 4 hours. We're going to give it to you all for $99. Just get started by clicking below and ordering the program. Then you can start watching the videos. You're going to be able to go back and watch it as many times as you need to. You can also download our workbook that we use for the Parents Guide program and start going through the process step by step and start implementing the very specific solutions that we've come up with for you, and then you need to customize those solutions with your children. Let me give you some of the feedback from people that we have had already go through the program and how it impacted them. Here's a comment from Emily R. She said, "My husband and I attended the training. We were pleasantly surprised and enjoyed immensely the time with Matt. In typical Matt fashion, he was able to take topics that can be very complicated and make them fun, entertaining, and educational. This training will help you to understand how to implement and understand the principles that will help you in raising a family. We were extremely pleased with the content that was covered and the examples and the direction provided on how best to raise resilient kids. I would recommend this to any parent that is desiring to understand different techniques and how best to interact with young kids, teenagers, or young adults in guiding them on the path to become independent and resilient in today's world." Lisa Bloxham commented by saying, "I love the parenting class. Matt is so knowledgeable in helping us become better people and parents. The class is a crash course in best parenting advice I've ever received. I definitely recommend the class." KP said, "I love the seminar so much. Matt has such a great way of connecting with each of his students. He is so relatable and he shares experiences not only from his studies and practice, but also as a husband and father. Through humor and knowledge, he was able to teach us great techniques in how to raise resilient kids so that they are able to face their future with confidence." Jill M. said, "I loved every minute of this parenting class with Dr. Townsend. I laughed and learned a lot, shed a few tears, and left feeling uplifted. As I've been using the parenting tools and the knowledge I gained during the class, I can see positive changes in my parenting and in our home. I had never taken a class from Dr. Matt before this, but since this class, I now listen to his radio show and his podcast." Another one of our members said, "If you only have the chance to go to one workshop on parenting, this is the one. Honestly, it is the closest thing to a user-friendly parenting instruction book. It should be mandatory for all parents. In just 4 short hours, Matt Townsend draws a roadmap that empowers a parent with vision of desired results, clear goals, and profound insights, including practical tips, tools, and solutions. With his down-to-earth warmth and humorous style, he masterfully creates a framework that facilitates you to easily customize and immediately begin to apply the knowledge and insights gained with your own family and in your own situation." So as as you can see, we've already taken many people through the program and we are having success. It's not brain surgery, folks. This isn't as hard as many times we make it. My goal in life is to make it even easier for you, to help as many people, parents, families, and kids as I can to go create the best life that they can. And the only way we can help you is if you become a member of our program. Don't give up. Don't be afraid. Let's just get informed and educated, and let's go make our families great.